How can someone claim to have never lied in his life? That's impossible. The king thought to himself and he decided to invite the wise man over to the palace. Once upon a time, there lived a very wise man named Mamad. Mamad was very popular throughout the whole village. His popularity was due to the fact that he never tells lies. People had tested him in several ways to see if he would finally give in and start telling lies, but he always found a way to say the truth in all situations. People were so mesmerized by the wise man's principle, and soon enough, his tales were told in several parts of the village. These tales of the wise man finally reached the ears of the king and his subjects. The king felt it was so unbelievable and impossible. He quickly ordered some of his guards to invite him to the palace. When Mamad arrived at the king's palace, the king looked at him curiously and asked, "Is it true that you have never lied?" "Yes, my king, I have never told a lie in my life." "Okay," replied the king. "That's good to hear, but be careful. Lies are easy to tell and they can be told unknowingly too. You can go now." "Thank you, my king," he said as he left the palace. Several days had passed and the king was still not convinced that the wise man does not tell lies at all. He decided to send for the wise man once again. When the wise man got to the palace, he met the king with a very large crowd, preparing to go hunting. He was about to climb his horse and had one leg on the horse's saddle. The king, on seeing Mamad, said, "Go to the queen's quarters. Tell her to prepare for a feast. I will be with her for lunch tomorrow. You will have lunch with us then." When Mamad left, the king laughed and said to the crowd, "We won't go hunting, but now Mamad will have to lie to the queen. Let us just watch and see. Tomorrow we will have a loud laugh." But when Mamad, the wise man, got to the queen's quarters, he said to her, "My queen, maybe you should prepare for a feast for lunch tomorrow, and maybe you shouldn't. Maybe the king will come for lunch and maybe he won't. Which one is it? Will he come or not?" "I'm not sure," he replied. "I don't know if he climbed his horse and rode out after I left." The next day, everyone waited for the king to come. When the king finally came, he quickly told the queen that Mamad, the wise man, who never told lies, had lied to her yesterday. But the queen told him that that was not the case, as she narrated everything that had happened and the exact words he used. Wow, that's smart. It was then that the king finally became convinced that Mamad truly never lies. He only says the things he sees with his own two eyes.